What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. I don't know what number episode this is. I'm not even going to pretend to guess. I think it's 5, but I could be sorely mistaken. So I got a great question from somebody, and I don't know why this one just kind of like hit home. So I decided that I wanted to answer this question in podcast form. So from Jason, hello. I'm a 17-year-old about to graduate from high school, and I'm not quite sure where life is taking me. My topic for you is, how do you deal with lack of motivation? Well, hi, Jason. My name is Bonde. I'm a 27-year-old who doesn't really know where life is taking me. So you're not alone in that journey. I think that point in time is a really isolating one for a lot of people because it's the first time in your life where people are looking at you with that question of, what are you going to do? You're about to be an adult officially. Oftentimes you're starting to go off to college where you're going to be on your own. And it's really difficult to make the decision that people expect you to be able to make at that point in time. And I've talked about this before just through self-reflection, but to be that age and know confident with any confidence what it is that you want to do for the rest of your life is ludicrous to me. And when you're going to college, it's normally a very financially taxing endeavor. And it's so that you're investing in your future, though. It's very difficult for a lot of people to pay for college. The majority of people, student loan debt follows people to the end of time. And you're not only expected to acquire that student loan debt, it's normal. You're supposed to acquire it so that you can get a degree in an area of study that will set you up to work in a career that you're supposed to have somewhat figured out. So when you're 17, 18 years old, for you to even know what it is that you want to do is crazy. To make one of the largest financial investments that you'll ever make at that time and point of your life, based on the fact that you're supposed to know what it is that you want to do, is even crazier. So to me, when it comes to going off to college and being that age, it is a time. It's a point in time. It's very much warranted for you to sit there and go, I'm a little confused. I don't really know where to find motivation, especially if I feel like I'm going to school just to go to school. I'm not sure what I want to get a degree in. So all these questions, and this is me just speaking to you, Jason, candidly, because I went through all of this. Those are questions that you're going to have and you're going to continue to have. And I can say to you, somebody who never liked school growing up, I hated it. I was always in trouble. I was always in the principal's office. I literally never had a percent of me that wanted to be in school. And I now have a master's degree. So it's kind of crazy how life steers you in certain directions. But even with my master's degree, I don't necessarily use my undergraduate degree or my master's degree. I've leveraged them. They've been great door openers for me, and they've created opportunities in my life. But none of that really matters, because when it comes to finding motivation, motivation is somebody doing something, finding I don't want to use the word motivation, finding the energy to essentially be goal oriented or chase or pursue some sort of goal oriented task, right? You need to be that's being motivated. It's what it means to be motivated. So to me, you would have to boil that down to, well, what's the goal? If you don't have the correct goal in place, I think motivation is an indication of whether or not you have the correct goal. Because if you're not motivated to do something, you probably don't want to do it. And we get caught up in the keeping up with the Joneses lifestyle, where you need to get the fancy degree, or people expect you to get the fancy degree. You see other people doing that so they can land the nice titled job, and you just pursue that because it's what people seem to do or want you to do. And to truly be motivated, you have to shut all of that out. And you have to, at least this is what I do, you have to fast forward to the end of your life. And I mean, seriously, sit there and think about the end of your life. And not to be somber about it, but the end of your life could be when you're 85. It could be 2 years from now. It could be 30 years from now, whatever. Just the end of your life. Put yourself in that moment where I've pretty much lived my life and it's coming to an end for whatever reason. You get to look back and reflect on your life in that moment, and what is it that you're going to reflect on? What is it that you're going to think about most? Are you going to be content with the time that you spent and the things that you were doing with that time that you spent? That's where you got to find motivation. And that's exactly how I structure my life. I have a lot of things that I manage when it comes to the business that I run or businesses that I run. But at the end of the day, all of the business ventures that I have could crash and burn, and I would be totally fine. Why? Because I have found a love for knowledge and just learning how to be and understand myself and be a genuinely good person, and how to just want nothing but the best for everybody that I come into contact with. I want to basically kill people with kindness, and a lot of this stems back to my love of Stoicism and finding Stoic philosophy, but just being good by nature and not being upset by things that happen in nature, because that's exactly what they are. They're natural processes. And so it's just nature playing out. Who are we to be upset by that? It's really a concept of the mind that we've decided or assigned if something is bad or good. And I don't want to get too philosophical on this, but a lot of the things that we get worried about and a lot of the things that impede our ability to get motivated don't really matter to us at the end of the day. And I think it's only when we've made it far past it that we look back and actually realize how silly we were being and blind we were being. And you're looking for motivation, but you're probably looking for it in the wrong way. And you probably have your goals set up improperly, or they don't suit you and what it is you truly care about. And so you're like, I'm not motivated. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not motivated to do what, right? Like if I told somebody that they need to go outside and you need to like clean your car tires, and all you have is a Kleenex and some Purell, you're not going to be motivated to do that, because nobody wants to do that. So if you're trying to get yourself to be motivated to do something you don't actually want to do, good luck. So I would say start there and actually ask yourself what it is that you care about, what you want to be doing. And you got to let yourself think outside the box here. I went through so many ups and downs when it came to figuring out what it is that I wanted to do and finding motivation in the things that I was doing. My trick really is to just be grateful every day that you have an opportunity to live another day and talk to the people that you love. And there's Marcus Aurelius puts it beautifully in Meditations, which, by the way, I have 10, I don't even know how many pages left. 10 pages left, I think, and I'm done. So very exciting. But Marcus Aurelius says you should go to bed every night and remind yourself that I might not wake up tomorrow, because that's just a fact of the matter. And it isn't something to look at and be saddened by, but rather something to be motivated to live well, to live as a good person, and to find that purpose and pursue goals that actually matter to you. Because if you spend a lot of your time on earth pursuing things that don't actually mean anything to you, if you truly accept the fact that this could be my last day on earth every day, you're going to be like, then why would I spend it doing this? So adopting that mindset has been extremely helpful for me staying motivated, because it motivates me to pursue things that I actually care about. It motivates me to actually connect with the people that I truly love and care about. It's a good driver. It's a good motivating factor, because at the end of the day, you don't want to feel like you wasted any time, given that you're slowly just running out of it, right? And not to say, oh my God, live every day like it's your last and dive into some sort of, fit of hedonistic pleasure, but just reminding yourself that time and life are both precious things, and to take them seriously and treat them as such, and not to get caught up in this is what you should do and this is what other people do. So I might have walked around your your point a little bit, but I think you need to reassess your goals if you're struggling to find motivation. And I think that you need to have those deep conversations with yourself on who you want to be and what you actually care about, and set those priorities in your life so that you don't feel like when you look back there was ever a day wasted. And that doesn't mean that you need to have this crazy, strict, rigid schedule that you're constantly working. That might not be your thing, but it might be. That's a personal journey that nobody can answer that question for you. I've just so happened to find my journey to revolve around health and well-being and knowledge. I just love learning things. It doesn't matter what it is. I just find learning things, especially about myself, to be so interesting. And so I prioritize those things every day. I prioritize my health, my fitness, my nutrition, my sleep, and then what I call leisure, which would be, again, the acquisition of knowledge or time spent to acquire knowledge. So everybody's got their own things, their own things that make them tick. But don't be afraid to be who you are. Like, don't try too hard to be who you are. And the other thing that I would say to you that really helps push motivation along, or help you find motivation, is little wins. And you find that in consistency. So above anything else, just consistently work to be the best person you can be. And this sounds so vague, but however you want to define that, just ask yourself if you really do feel like you're giving everything your all. Because I have bounced around from career path to career path. And I shouldn't say bounced around, but I would enter a career path and I would go 110%. And the people around it would notice. And oftentimes that would lead to another opportunity. And so my willingness to just buckle down and work hard and be a good person and treat people with respect opened so many doors for me. And that in itself is motivating, because you start to realize that, oh, I am an attractive candidate in the world of whatever, insert whatever industry you're in. And taking time to work on yourself and understand yourself will take you so much farther in your career than any bit of study you can do in that one particular industry. So work on yourself twice as hard as you work on your career, and I think you'll find that your career starts to advance far faster than ever would if you're just focused on your career. And it's motivating to be able to work on yourself, because who wouldn't want to be the best person they can be? If that's not appealing to you, then you have some serious internal reflection to be doing. So I'll cut this off here. I might have bounced around a little bit, but those are my candid thoughts on it. I like to read these questions, hit record, and then answer it like I'm sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't have time to prepare something for you if you just happened to bump into me in person and said, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm thinking and feeling. I'm just curious, your take on this. I wouldn't be like, hey, come back in an hour and I'm going to sit down and do some Googling and jot down some notes. I'm going to be like, well, this is how I feel about this thing based on where I'm at in my life and my experiences. So nothing to try to gain here, just sharing those thoughts. And hopefully there was something helpful in there. And I think it was a really good question that will resonate with a lot of people, not just at that age, going through that transition of being a teenager going off to college, but people who are graduating college and about to enter the workplace, or people who are trying to shift career paths. There's all different kinds of moments in life that are significant enough to make people kind of stop and say, I don't really know what life is doing here, or what I'm doing. And it can be hard to find motivation in those moments, but you always have you wherever you go. And to constantly try to learn and work on and improve yourself is something that you always have. And that allows you to be consistent, and it allows you to stay motivated, and that every day is a new opportunity to try to be better, or one step closer to the best person that you can be. So probably a little bit she there, kind of a feel good, but those are my honest thoughts and feelings on that. And you just got to kind of say fuck you to everybody else and be a little bit selfish. It's a good thing for people to do, and I think more people should be okay with that. So yeah, that was it for today. I look forward to continuing to sit down and just speak and post these. So hopefully you guys will find something interesting or of value, and I will talk to you all in the next one.